Oh, this feels weird. Okay, so before New Year's, I decided that I didn't want to do the podcast anymore. And that decision is okay with me. What doesn't sit right with me is not doing a proper farewell episode, so here it is. And I got a ring late for Christmas, so I gotta do at least one episode. So since we last left off, the Pirates have made some big moves, and they're not done yet. We'll catch up on all of the free agent news for MLB. We are already past bowl season in college football, so we'll go over some of my favorite bowl games, and of course, the college football playoff. I was 8-0 to start the playoffs last year, but I'm 2-6 this year, with the only correct guesses being Oregon over JMU and Ole Miss over Tulane. You know, the obvious ones. The Patriots have won the AFC East for the first time in 5 years, but since then they did lose, so the beard is growing back out. I also went to the Ravens game and had a blast. We'll just do a regular season wrap-up in the NFL. A regular season wrap-up is what the U.S. just did to Venezuela's dictator. Let's do this episode right. Crack open a cold one. John is going to join us for the final episode of HN'P, the last one being number 184. Let's get into it. Recorded in central Pennsylvania in front of a live studio audience with your host Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies and Pierogis. Okay, so the last time that we left off, if I would have recorded that video, it would have been after the Patriots lost to the Bills, and at that point, the Pirates still had not signed anyone. But their first big move came this offseason. The Pirates were involved in a 3-team trade which sent Mike Burrows to Houston and Brandon Lowe, Jake Mangum, and a left-handed reliever, Colson Montgomery, I believe his name is, who can hit 100. He's had some control issues. But they got all three of those players, essentially, for Mike Burrows. And then the Rays got like the number 2 and number 7 prospect from the Astros in that deal. I think the Rays were on the losing end of that. I don't know if they're seeing some decline from Brandon Lowe. He did have his worst year last year. He hit 250 for 31 home runs. Yes, that's one of his down years. All of the stupid Pirates fans on Twitter are like, oh, Brandon Lowe, he hit 250 last year. He's going to be the savior. Well, hold up. First off, batting average is a dog shit way to evaluate players. And if you're going to evaluate players by their batting average, that would have been third on the team behind Nick Gonzalez, who's going to be a bench bat because he can't get on base at all besides his batting average, which was 260. His on-base percentage was 299. That is horrible. And then IKF, who was first on the team with like a 265 batting average. So he now, well, at that point, had the best batting average on the team compared to last year. So shut the fuck up about that. That doesn't even make sense that you're complaining about that. And then I think a week later it was, the Pirates signed Ryan O'Hearn. Let's go. This was a huge addition. 2 years, $29 million. He hit 285 last year. So Pirates fans can quit complaining about batting average. I am super excited about those moves, but I was really hoping that the Pirates would sign Kazumo Okamoto, who did end up signing with the Blue Jays for 4 years and $60 million. $15 million a year was totally worth it. And I don't know if the Pirates offered more, but the deciding factor was him laying out all 30 MLB logos in front of his daughter, and his daughter chose the Blue Jays logo. Well, turns out Pirates fans should have been doing some subliminal messaging, like putting the Pirates P in the K-pop Demon Hunters logo. And yes, I am fully aware that that is Korean and not Japanese. You fucking idiot on Reddit. Jorge Polanco, who was on the Pirates' radar before all this happened, did end up signing with the Mets for 2 years and $40 million. He is, I believe, the Mets' only signing. No, outside of Devin Williams, and they lost Edwin Diaz. So I would prefer Diaz over Devin Williams, that's for sure. But there are still a lot of targets left on the board for the Pirates. They have Eugenio Suarez, who is the obvious choice. He hit 49 home runs last year. Yeah, he hit 24 home runs in Arizona. That means he hit 25 home runs outside of Arizona. What do people not get about that? His defense wouldn't be great, but the next best target is Yohan Moncada, who I think has even worse defense than Suarez does. So he had a 116 OPS plus last year. That would be fine offensively, and he's a switch hitter. But I would prefer Suarez, that's for sure. And I understand not wanting to give him like a 3-year or 4-year contract because he's, 35 already? 36? So there's some hesitancy in that, but maybe he'll come on the cheap. The Pirates really have to make one more big move to really be able to say, hey, we attempted to make a push, and we're going to try to get to the playoffs and try to do something in the playoffs. Not just get there, but do something when they get there. Outside of those signings, I don't think much has happened, but that's getting my hopes up for the Pirates season. That's for goddamn sure. Okay, college football. We'll get into college football a lot more with John because I'm sure that he watched the playoff games. I really didn't watch the playoff games that much. I was too busy having fun with my friends and family. Playing this game called Hitster. It's such a fun game. You pick a card. It's a random song from a random year, and then you play songs from the deck that have a QR code, and it just plays them straight from Spotify. And then you got to place that card, whether it's newer or older than the song that you had. I love it. I won all 4 games that we played. Or three or 4 games. I can't remember. But anyway, last time we recorded, I know exactly where we left off on the My Sharona story. At first, it was announced that he got fired. And I was like, holy shit, My Sharona got fired. And then it came out that he got fired for having an inappropriate relationship with a staffer. And I was like, oh my God, no way. And then it came out that the Uber driver reported him because he didn't give a tip for leaving Plan B at the staffer's office. What? And then My Sharona threatened to kill himself in front of his wife, drove to that staffer's house, threatened to kill both of them, and then was arrested by police shortly thereafter. What? That went from oh to oh to oh to oh no in a matter of 2 hours. There was so much other shit that happened after I stopped recording that Wednesday night, and I wanted so bad to update it, but I was like, nope, I just got to save it for next week. Well, next week never happened, never got back around to it, but here we are. My Sharona just absolutely lost his mind, and there were apparently allegations of him talking to other people during this and like abusing the staffer, and the staffer got like a $50,000 pay raise out of nowhere this past year. All of this is such a wild story. It kept getting worse and worse and worse. And there was just like, I don't know. At first it was funny, and then it just, as it went on, it got way more sad. Now, he was fired without HR present and without any security present, and they knew that he had mental health problems. So Michigan now, the AD is being investigated in his role in all of this. That is extremely ill-advised to fire him like that. When you knew that he had problems, why would you ever do that? That does not make any sense. So I think everyone needs to be out of Michigan. They already hired Utah's coach. What is his name? Kyle Whittingham, I think it is. But yeah, I can't really find anything of what's happening now. Yeah, the latest update that I can see on it is from 3 weeks ago when he was arrested. Shit must be going down with him. I don't know. Maybe he's in a mental facility somewhere where he probably needs to be. So, Jesus Christ, that's insane. And then do not worry, we'll go over all of the college football playoff games with John. But I want to get into the NFL here, go over what the Patriots have been doing, what's been going on. So, and then we'll go over our records prediction, actually. So the Patriots lost to the Bills. That's why I shaved on beard round number 2. Patriots haven't lost yet or since. And then they almost lost to the Ravens, but they made an 11-point comeback against them in the fourth quarter. I was so happy to be at that game. It was easily the best NFL game that I've been at, possibly the best football game that I've been to. I've been to several Penn State games, and this is my 3rd Patriots game that I've been at. So, hell, that was incredible. Great vibes. I was sitting 3 rows behind the bench in a good cluster of Patriots fans being rowdy. I was actually the quietest one. This is the weirdest remix ever. But I had a great time. I was screaming and yelling. Let's go!
Hell yes!
And Diggs was getting the bench hyped up like the whole time, getting the crowd hyped up. It was really cool to see. And I guess while we're on that topic, there have been reports of Diggs strangling a girl, I believe last month. But seems like a sketchy time for that to come up. Also with Christian Barmore, the team already knew about this. Something happened with him in August, but I don't know. I don't know what the hell happened there. All of this news coming up at the same time. It's a little bit suspicious. I'll believe them if it comes out. If they're found guilty, I'm not going to be like, no, that didn't happen. I believe it 100%. Absolutely. Especially with how Diggs was acting in the offseason. I was like, oh, buddy, you better keep it in wraps. He's been good during the season. He's just got to keep it together through the playoffs. Please, Diggs, please. And then Barmore, I don't know what you're doing. That's shitty. It's a very shitty situation overall for everybody involved. But in that little rant, I did say that the Patriots clinched the AFC East after the Bills shit the bed against the Eagles, and the Bills did not convert that 2-point play. They would have won 14-13. They lost 13-12. And then we'll go over Week 18 in our playoff predictions with John. I do want to go over our record prediction here, and luckily I completely forgot that I didn't, and I am really glad that I saw my notebook before I left home this weekend. I wrote it all down. I got them all here, so let's go through this. All right, so first game up against the Raiders, I predicted to win. They lost 0-1. Win against Miami, 1-1. Loss against Pitt, 1-2. I started out pretty bad. Then 2-2, they won against Carolina, but then they won against Buffalo, so I was 2-3 at this point. Win against New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3. I had them down for a loss against Tampa Bay and Atlanta, so 5-4, back to 5-5, back at 500, and win against the Jets, 6-5. But then I had a loss against the Bengals, back to 6-6. But then to end the season, I went on a run, win against the Giants. I predicted a loss against the Bills, and then a win against Baltimore, a win against the Jets, and then a win against Miami again. To go 11-6 on the season, I predicted them to go 12-5, and they ended up 14-3, but my picks were 11-6. Damn, that's it was looking pretty rough there until the last 5 games, and I didn't even realize because I just did that right now. All right, I don't know if John's going to want to talk about this or not, but I will mention it here. I have a couple stats for MVP, and I know I'm biased for May, obviously, but I think he has a better case than Stafford. The Patriots played 6 games against top 15 passing defenses, with 4 against the top 5. 2 against the Bills, 1 against the Saints, 1 against the Browns. May averaged a 116.3 QBR. The Rams played 6 top 15 defenses as well, pass defenses, with 4 in the top 10, but none in the top 5. Seattle twice, and the Texans and the Eagles, they played in the top 10. And Stafford averaged a 90.4 QBR. This all according to Pro Football Reference. Now, Stafford had 8 one-yard touchdown passes and 3 two-yard touchdown passes. May had 3 and 2 respectively. Switch those touchdowns for rushing touchdowns, and Stafford ends up with 35 total TDs, and May would be at 30. 10 out of those 11 touchdowns were fades to Puka or Adams. It is a wide receiver skill to get open on those. You're telling me Matt Stafford, with a 65% completion rate on the year, is able to just nail all of those throws? No. Not a single one of May's touchdowns in those situations was chuck it up to the corner for an all-pro wide receiver duo. Put May on the Rams and put Stafford on the Pats. With the easy schedule, Stafford should have the same stats, right? Or even better than what he had this season. I highly doubt that. Would his stats even be as good as May's? Stafford is a statue, and while the O-line got better for the Pats, it still is not even as close to as good as the Rams' offensive line is. Stafford would have been sacked so many times. Prayer balls downfield to Puka, gone. 1-yard fades to Adams, gone. May would have surpassed Stafford in every single category by a mile if they switched places. And that's all. And then I do want to mention the coaches that were fired on Sunday/Monday/Tuesday. Raheem Morris, Kevin Stefanski, Pete Carroll, Jonathan Gannon, and then on Tuesday, John Harbaugh was out. Schefter said that he would be the top head coaching candidate this cycle. Why? He is in the exact same boat as McCarthy when he was fired from the Packers. What they do does not work anymore. It is stale. Unless Harbaugh wants a short stint at some random place, he'd be better off retiring. They would eat him alive in New York on the Giants. That would... Oh my God. Giants fans, I think, would lose their mind if they hired him. Okay, let's get into the John portion of the show. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready whenever you are.
All right.
I've just been hanging out.
I know. Alrighty, John. This is the last episode of Hoagies and Pierogis. I decided I just don't want to do it anymore. It's just way too much work. Honestly, it's just like, I feel so bad because my mom got me this ring light camera for Christmas. And I'm like, oh no, please. And she was like, I saw your post. We can return it if you want to. Like, you don't have to keep it. And I was like, no.
Well, you never know.
I'll do one final episode. And honestly, if the Patriots make it past, the first round, the further they go, the more I'll keep doing it. So.
Well, you're going to trick yourself into getting a Super Bowl, and then it's going to be, all right.
Yeah, right.
Can't stop.
Let's save that for later. Do you have anything to say about the Pirates actually trying and spending on free agents?
We'll see.
Like, they got Ryan O'Hearn for 2 years, $29 million, and then they got Brandon Lowe from the Rays for Mike Burrows, who didn't really have a place. He was probably going to end up in the bullpen anyway.
My thoughts on anything Pirates related is we'll see. Because it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. And then they get out onto the field and the hitting sucks. Or something is bound to go wrong somewhere until they prove it otherwise. And you gotta say, wait and see. Because the Pirates team is owned by Bob Nutting.
Yes.
Who is guaranteed to meddle in some way or some fashion where this team ends up falling apart.
Mm-hmm. But I think the turning point was really when, at game day, when Pat McAfee was like, hey, you see that sign flying around?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that thing was going behind the airplane like, sell the team, Bob. But then after that, they actually started trying to spend.
Yeah, well, I mean, everywhere you go, there's a crowd. There's a Fire Bob Nutting chant going around. So, you either try to spend some money eventually, or it just continues. And I think, he's trying to spend a little bit more money, but where's his line? Would he go out and get a guy for $300 million? Probably
right,
not.
Yeah. I don't think he would sign a guy to a big, huge contract like that, but that they're going to need to if they want to keep Skeens. And that's the thing. And even if they want to keep Connor Griffin, who's going to come up this season, they're going to need to extend him sooner rather than later to keep him for at least 2 free agent years. At least 2.
Mm-hmm. If the Pirates could ever have any hitting, they could be able to compete. But
getting Low in O'Hearn is a good way towards that.
Yeah.
That's easily probably 50 home runs added to the lineup just with those 2 signings.
Yeah, you can't waste another Paul Skeens year where he's letting less than 2 runs a game, or 2 runs until he's out.
1.98 ERA or something like that. Crazy.
It's something
ridiculous.
It's something so low that
it's so stupid.
How are we losing, or how is this guy not a 15-win starter every year? That he's producing like that, and
1,000%.
You kind of look at it like that. And that's why I say we'll see, because if they don't step on their own feet, they could be there. Will they step on their feet? History says yes,
Yeah. They're
But
going to do something
we'll
stupid
see.
like trade Mitch Keller at the trade deadline when they're in first in the division or something stupid like we did it for bats. And then they're going to run out of pitching. You can only trade away so much pitching. So I think they should stop where they're
Yeah.
at. They can definitely sign Eugenio Suarez, I think. They can. That's easily within their price range. And hopefully the Pirates come back and make it to Bucktober.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Bucktober. Better buck and believe, boy. All
Been a
right.
while.
So that is it for the Pirates, I think. I think we should stop there. I already covered all of the signings in the MLB recently.
Oh.
I did like a little pre-episode
There's a
before
ton of
this, like of just by myself. So
Yeah.
yeah, I covered a lot of it. But let's get into college football. I started the playoffs 8-0 last year. This year, I've started the playoffs 2-6 in my predictions. The only two that I got
Wins
right,
being Tulane and Oregon, or
Yep.
well, Oregon
Ole
and
Miss
Ole
and-
Miss.
yeah.
The,
So,
the first round
not been great.
obvious gimme games.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, well, Texas Tech is going to put a hurting on Oregon because JMU put up 34 points or something like that. I know Oregon still scored 52, but Texas Tech's
backdoor
defense
cover.
obviously was way better. But yeah, that was wild. That was absolutely
the backdoor
wild. I
cover
was
in that
pissed.
game was something to behold, because you're watching it, and you go, there's no way that JMU covers this. And then they like kept grinding there, and it's like the game was never close, but the fact that they were able to cover that says to me that their offense might have been better than what people thought,
Right.
that they were
Yeah.
able to score that many points.
Now, is Miami's offense better than we thought? I don't know. Their offense hasn't been running the show. Their defense has been running the show. Them
Their
beating
run
Texas
game's
A&M, yeah, it is. And then also because who is it? I almost called him Kadarius Toney. Who's the wide receiver for Miami?
Oh, Malachi.
Malachi Toney
Yeah.
is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Kadarius Toney.
I mean, Kadarius is the one that everybody knows. And then
that no eyebrow bitch. But I think that Miami might win it all. They just crushed Ohio State. All right. Ohio State played a very close game against Indiana. If Miami goes up against Indiana, I think Miami can beat them. I think Ohio State and Indiana are too much of a similar team. We'll see if it was a fluke against Ohio State or not if they end up facing each other in the championship.
My opinion on Ohio State at the end of the year was they tripped on their own dicks. They were given every opportunity to win both of those games against Indiana and Miami. It just kind of walked in there thinking their shit don't stink, because they came off the national championship win last year, and then they had an undefeated season going into Indiana, and everybody going, they're so good. This team's better than last year. This team's better than last year. And everybody like talking them up. And then they blew 4 possessions in the red zone against Indiana.
So many.
And
Obviously,
then,
the last one being the 27-yard field goal or some bullshit.
yeah, but there was like 4 possessions there where if you look at it, they could have won that game probably by at least 8 points. Wouldn't have been, if they don't have all those fumble, turnover and downs, all the miscues on offense during that game in the red zone. Then the Miami game happens.
Just immediately down 14-0.
And I think in their heads, they thought, well, we'll just walk in here and beat them because we lost to Indiana, but we should have won that game. And like, I think they like in their heads almost tricked themselves into losing both those games, where they just weren't ready to go. And I think Miami is a team that is playing with a little bit of house money by just sneaking in to the playoff, where it's like we just play whatever style we need to play.
That's definitely CFP money. That's for sure.
Yeah, and
thank you, ACC. They're saying.
Yeah, we'll see if Timmy, aka Carson Beck, is gonna be a good version tonight.
Timmy,
or
really does
or
look
he's
like
gonna
Timmy.
be the guy that
wait, I've never realized that before.
That throws four picks. I mean,
that's so
and if
funny.
he's lucky, he'll be carried off in his wheelchair. I mean, we'll see. I mean, he's gonna
getting the WCJ from what is his ex-girlfriend's name from Miami?
Oh, Haley Cavender.
Yeah, a wheelchair job from her.
Well, I mean, you know who Timmy's best friend is? Jimmy, and that's his running back right now. And his running back is on fire and is carrying Timmy to the finish line. He's the one that's making that offense drive. He's making everything happen for Miami offensively that they were missing in like that middle part of the season where they were scraping by, lost against Louisville, and then after that loss, they had like a weird SMU game where like nothing
that
clicked.
was weird, nothing at all.
And then they found their identity, and I think Miami is the team that should win this game. But Ole Miss.
I was going to say, first off, before we even get to Miami-Indiana matchup, we need to get to Miami-Ole Miss.
But Ole Miss.
I really think that was the stupidest game the only game that I watched in this whole playoffs, not all the way through, but like that I paid basically any attention to was Ole Miss, Georgia. That was one of the dumbest games I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
I mean, the last 2 minutes of that game were, you couldn't write it.
It was so stupid. Like, who wants to actually win this goddamn game? It didn't seem like Georgia, but for a little bit there, it didn't really seem like Ole Miss wanted to win it either. But then Trinidad Chambliss just pulled out some bullshit from his ass and was like, hey, I'm going to scramble 50 yards in the backfield and then complete this. What was that, a fourth and 10? I think it was.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something stupid. Like, what are you doing?
He's, to me, and I've watched a decent amount of Ole Miss games this year. If he would have started every game this year, he is hands down the Heisman winner. Hands down. He just didn't start every game this year.
I think so. No one really took the reins of it. And Fernando Mendoza won off of personality, like basically alone. I know the team went undefeated and everything, but that's just because if any other quarterback was him that put up the same stats as he did, he would have won. They would have won behind a 12-0 Indiana.
I mean,
13-0 Indiana. So, like, I don't know. It's
this year, like, there was any other option outside the guy that started every single game and had the number one team in the nation. I think that
you might. I would have absolutely considered Jeremiah Love, and I don't know how many first place votes he got, but like Diego Pavia got more first place votes than Julian Sayin did.
Which is crazy.
Like, it's absolutely insane. But I mean, I was kind of on the Pavia Heisman train, to be honest with you. He definitely had like the best stats on paper,
He
but I don't.
so he had the best stats on paper. I also think that if they would have taken 2 more games of Trinidad, he would have had the best stats. He would have had, because you think about like the first 2 games of the season, cupcakes. It's normally cupcakes for a lot of these teams. I
Right.
believe Ole Miss's was not very tough, and
No,
he would
absolutely
have
not.
had probably what, another five to eight touchdowns added onto his resume, extra like 800 yards or whatever it is,
Yeah.
that he would have had so many more added yards onto that he would have won the Heisman. That just, to me, that's the one thing that I'm looking at with this game between the Miami and Ole Miss, is that like the real game within the game is Ole Miss's offensive line in Trinidad versus Miami's defensive line.
Yep.
That's going to determine pretty much the winner. Because if Miami stops them repeatedly, Miami's going to find points. They're going to
I
find points against Ole Miss defense.
I don't know.
Everybody's
I
found
didn't watch the.
points.
Yeah, I didn't watch the first half of the Ole Miss Georgia game, but I don't know how well was Georgia getting to Chambliss in the first half. I mean, I
They
know
were
he
getting to
absolutely
him,
ran
but
away.
he was scrambling. He was scrambling like Johnny Manziel back in the day,
Right.
where he's running 15 yards backwards, and then like making a loop around and then throwing it 20 yards down the field with a guy wide open. It's backyard bullshit is what I call it. Where you're watching it and it's like, man, that should never happen, but it worked. like
Oh my
you
god.
get, you go no 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 and yes at the end.
So who do you think is going to win tonight? Ole Miss or Miami?
Miami, but I took Ole Miss cover.
I like
I
it.
had
I also have Miami winning.
I have Miami winning, Ole Miss covering. I think regardless, it's going to be a close game.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to come down to like that matchup, and then if Timmy throws any interceptions.
Yeah. I feel like Miami is one of those teams that plays to the level of their opponent.
Oh, for sure. It's been
To
like
an
that
extreme,
for
like almost to an extreme degree. They've played so many close games this year, I feel like. Even against like
I
teams that
mean,
they were supposed to blow out.
like Miami just in general has been that team that's played their opponent's level for the last 20 some years, outside of those early 2000 years. Like they don't blow people away like on camera or on the
Right.
field, but like it's like a steady build, and I don't know. They're one of those teams that I get confused watching them because with all the talent that they have,
Mhm.
should be beating this team by 20 points, but they're
Right.
playing a one-score game. That's where like SMU got them.
Absolutely, yeah, and they took advantage of it and they caught him sleeping, basically. Let's go on to the next bracket, basically. What was the first round of this one? It was Who did Alabama beat? Alabama beat
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, and
Yep.
then
Got
they
lucky in
played.
that game, really.
Yeah, they did. Erased a 17-point deficit like I've never fucking
Lucky.
seen before. Like that was faster than the Patriots came back against the Falcons in the Super Bowl.
I've
I
never. I
was
mean, you want to talk about a team fumbling all over themselves? Oklahoma.
Yeah. And I really didn't think that they had the offensive firepower to really go far, but I did think that they would beat Alabama just because of how bad Alabama was against Georgia.
I also thought there was no way that there's going to be more than 20 points scored by halftime,
Yeah.
and they had 34 points on the board
Oh,
based
I had
upon
the
their
under in
prior
that
match.
game. I know. I
Yeah,
was like, "Oh, it's 17-0. Oklahoma scoring way too fast." And I was like, "Oh, well, Alabama just came back and it's already almost at the over at halftime. What the fuck?"
yeah, that was a
I
bad
was
beat by me.
pissed.
That was a
I
bad
was
beat by
very
me.
pissed.
I
Yeah,
had the
me
under in
too. I
that
was like,
game.
"No. No." And then I had, of course, that inspired some confidence in me that should not, some false confidence, because I had Alabama plus 7.5 against Indiana.
Same, same. That was a bad bet.
38-3.
I, but I so truthfully, based that bet upon Alabama having like what was it, five top 25 wins in the regular season, where I
Yeah.
go,
They
they
had
might
like
not win the
what,
game,
3
but
in like
like I
4
think they're
weeks or
gonna,
something?
yeah. And I
Yeah.
was like, they might not win the game, but like, there's no way that they get blown out like that. Well, I should have thought more about that Florida State game.
Fucking stupid. Yep.
I should have. And
Yeah,
that's
I should have too. I didn't, like, I just thought it was so far back. And that's kind of what I'm afraid is going to happen to the Patriots this weekend. We'll get into more. We'll go into the NFL after this, but I'm afraid that that Week 1 loss to the Raiders is going to come back to haunt them in some bullshit way. Just like
it's
how the Week 1 loss to
yeah,
Florida State came back to haunt Alabama.
yeah, and it's one of those things where you even, I mean, like you're looking at even the first matchup of uh, Indiana Oregon, and you're like, does that one mean anything?
I don't even
Does
know,
it
because
mean
I
anything?
have
No, I don't
so
know.
much confidence in Indiana now that they're the only team that won from the bye week in the past 2 years. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, they can do anything. They can literally do anything. I'm so
And
impressed by them.
not just one, like dominated. Like
Yeah.
everything on the field was Indiana all day.
And
Alabama's
what was
lucky
it?
to even have scored in that game.
Right. And that win forced Mark Cuban to give them, what was it? Was it $2 million or $200 million?
It's
It was some
something
absurd amount.
ridiculous.
It might have been $200 million.
So, yeah, they have so much money right now. Or I mean, you talk about finding the diamond in the rough of college coaches.
Yeah.
You
Who would
like
have known Signetti? God.
you think, all right, well, this guy's been good, and you hire based upon that. Then you don't think in your wildest dreams, as one of the losingest programs in college football, that you're gonna go from middle to bottom tier of Big Ten every year, being now the powerhouse that everybody's like looking at what you're doing, being like, I want to be like that. It's
And it is wild to me that there's a 3-4 shot that a team could win the national championship after never having won one before at all. Only
yeah.
Miami won one in what, 2000? Or
Miami's
maybe
won a
the
couple.
late 90s
Yeah,
or something like that. That was
they
like the
won
last one
they've
they
won a
won, yeah.
couple, and they don't need another one.
Carson Beck
That's
doesn't need one specifically.
I mean that's just that fan base is insufferable.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And then who else? I don't know. Is that it for the playoffs? I guess it
Oh
is.
yeah, yeah, Texas Tech Oregon game that
Oh,
was
Texas Tech, Oregon. Yeah. So I was driving out to
which
Pittsburgh when
was
this game was happening. So
horrendous.
I didn't see any of it, and I didn't need to see any of it. I saw 23-0, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oregon was by far the better team in that game, and I think they were just like Texas Tech can't do anything to us. Texas Tech's defense, and like people are gonna like look at that score and be like, they lost by 3 scores. Texas Tech's defense kept them in that game for way longer than I even thought.
Right.
Like they were very good. The Texas Tech offense couldn't do a single fucking thing. And I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, 3 and out. Oh, they got a first down. Oh, now they're kicking after that. Okay, and then it just was horrendous offense to watch there. And Oregon could have just probably put in the backup defensive guys and still won that game by 2 scores.
That's what I was
That's
afraid
how
of.
legitimately bad that offense was.
I was afraid that Texas Tech's offense wouldn't be that great against better competition. So, but I did not
mean,
expect them to
that's
get
typically though the
blown
Big
out like
12
that.
against Big 12 against the either SEC or Big 10. Just kind of crumble.
Yep, and like I said, JMU's performance against Oregon is why I chose Texas Tech. So,
Yeah, I mean
didn't
that's
score a single goddamn point. They did better against Texas Tech than they did against JMU. Oregon did.
yes, yeah, it's. I mean that yeah, which makes no sense. But I also think they got a lucky draw. I mean, personally, to me in the playoffs, you want to play that first game, regardless of if it's a little bit tougher or not. Just
100%.
like you want to. If you're the better team going into that game, and people already know it, it is like so important. Just shake off rust, and that like I don't think that gets talked about enough in at least football. Is how teams change throughout the year, but like by that month off, you don't know what if your team's going to come out ready
And it
or
is.
not.
It's like 3 weeks off in between the end of the
Yeah.
regular season or
If you're not in that
the end of your championship game
too.
and in the second round of the playoffs. It's insane. Something needs
Yeah.
to move up a little bit. And it's just
Well,
like why
the thing that needs to move is that Army Navy game. That needs to be played in week 0.
that's the thing that's fucking everything up is the Army Navy game.
It really is. It really is because they had their own Saturday to themselves.
That's so funny.
You put that on week 0. You put that game on week 0 because there's already now a built-in week for it, and then you move
Right,
all
yeah,
these games
exactly.
up.
Make Navy and Army play in Ireland week 0.
Well, especially if they're gonna add another 4 teams to the playoff eventually, you kind of need that extra week.
Yeah,
So
that's
you're
insane.
gonna have to, because you're not gonna be playing as late as the Super Bowl. I don't care.
Well, you can't push the national championship back any further than it already is.
Yes.
The next semester is starting for some kids. Like that's crazy.
Oh, and then you also have, I mean, like football is its own monster of, like getting ready for the NFL draft, getting ready for, like, you have, I mean, there's already new kids on campus for the team at this point right now.
Right, yeah. They're already transfers. That's why all the Oregon
already
or the Ole Miss coaches that are going to LSU are like, what the fuck do I do? I guess
Well, there's also early enrollments for freshmen that are stepping on campus, and they're like, I purposely got here this early to start with my team. And
that's
they're
kind
not.
of crazy. That they're allowed to like do that.
It
I don't know.
happens.
Like I know it
Happens.
happens,
I mean,
but
it happens to, especially like the 3 and above stars. There's a lot of those kids that start or like condense their class schedules and take classes over the summer or wherever, so they can start early for college football.
right.
So it's one of those weird things, but like
That's
you're
just
looking at
weird
the
to me. I don't
schedule and
know.
it's like you got to move it up.
You need to, something needs to move up, and nothing else can move back at all.
Yeah,
I feel like
It's the Army
12
Navy game.
teams is already like fine though. You know, like I don't think it needs to be moved to like 24 or whatever bullshit the Big Ten is suggesting. I really don't think it does. It's just like the quality of competition is what really needs to happen is that there needs to be 3 at-large bids for the conference champions, and the top 3 conference champions. Timmy.
Sorry, that was
okay.
Fiesta texted me. He texted me Timmy in the wheelchair.
Oh, Fiesta.
Sorry. I looked at my phone and I saw
okay.
that, and I
Totally
said
okay.
I had to pull that one up.
But we both think that Indiana is going to win tomorrow, right? Friday night.
Yeah. I would be shocked if Oregon wins. I would be very shocked.
I know it's hard to play a team twice in a year.
Yeah.
And usually the team that won the first time loses the second time. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Signetti bucks the trend.
Absolutely. Oh, and do you have anything to say about my Sharona before we move on to the NFL? Sharon Moore.
Oh God. The one thing I have to say is I wish Michigan would have suffered more. Truthfully, I wish you would have gone on a rampage. He said I'm gonna kill Wolverine. I wish he would have gotten in that car and like ran through a parade or something. Truthfully, I wish it would have so much worse than what Michigan got out of it.
Oh, that's so funny.
I mean, that's the truth.
Like he should have went on an OJ style chase.
Yeah, I think it would have been hysterical watching something like that. I think
that's too good. Oh, that's too funny. I was trying to look up updates for it. Do we know anything that's happened to him within the past couple weeks?
No, you know what? Everything kind of got swept under the rug as soon as they hired Kyle Whittingham, and that's been all the talk. And it's like everything is left on the past. But it's the funny part about it is that you look at one of the most ridiculous coaching tree staffs of all time in college football, between Jim Harbaugh getting sanctions, Sharon Moore getting sanctioned, fired. You have what's his name stealing signs.
Connor Stallions. Yeah. The '80s office for firing Sharon Moore without HR or security. That's ridiculous. And they knew about this, like his mental health problems. That's insane.
Well, and then the other thing that kind of gets forgotten is that he had like a coordinator or somebody or assistant to the coordinator that was arrested for filming women in the bathroom.
Oh my God! And definitely feeding him those videos.
Story. It's just like a forgotten story underneath the Harbaugh coaching tree.
I've never heard that. I've absolutely never heard that before. That's crazy.
It's a crazy story.
That is wild.
They had like 4 or 5 coaches in that tree, or that coached together at that time, that either got sanctions or fired or arrested, or you'll never see a coaching tree like that again. Where everybody seems to be indicted in some way or fashion.
Jesus Christ. Well, hopefully Kyle Whittingham stays out of trouble on that motorcycle of his.
You know what? Yeah.
You know who else had a motorcycle? Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, I was going to say, you know who he looks up to? Ben Roethlisberger.
Me and you are on the same page on that one. Let's go. All right. Before we get into the NFL, I need to grab a beer. Okay. Let's move on to the NFL. I am ready.
I was like inner peace.
This, yes. Center. We got to move on to week 18. John, let's just do this in chronological order. I just have a little bit to say about every game. We do not have to go in depth about every single game. The Panthers. Oh my God.
Panthers.
Maybe I'm not ready.
Panthers.
My lungs are ready, but my brain isn't.
That's a new one, Panthers.
The Panthers at the Buccaneers on Saturday. Oh man, this one was Ref Fest 2026. Yeah. This is a huge reason why the CBA with the refs will change. What in the fuck was that bullshit offensive pass interference on Tetairoa McMillan, where he pushed him aside within 5 yards? Oh, the receiver can't make contact after 1 yard. When has that been a rule? When has that ever been a rule? Why has that not ever been mentioned no matter what? I have never heard a distinction between the offensive player and the defensive player having different sets of rules for that type of contact. Never.
It's funny is that I think there are certain rules in the rule book that they decide to call when they go, we need, like, NFL will probably deny it, always will deny it, but they throw out a couple suggestions to these refs. And they go, hey, if you see this, or if you want to make this call that we don't normally call, favor one team a little bit more viewership, they're gonna do it. And I think it's always kind of been there for the NFL, is that they don't necessarily tell you, hey, we want this team to win, but right. They go, well, let's favor it this way if we can.
It's just the thing that is just, it's, to me, it's never been as blatantly obvious as it is now.
Oh,
yeah. They did not throw the flag until McMillan caught the ball.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there is a lot of...
I don't agree with the argument that they don't call pass interference if the ball doesn't go to that receiver. If the ball doesn't go to that receiver, it might be because of pass interference. So I think that's a complete bullshit argument. They absolutely called that because they wanted to.
Yeah.
And he put his head on his helmet, but he didn't put it in his face mask. So that's not hands to the face.
I mean, yeah, I truly think that they personally favor a certain team a little bit more with calls in the game. It's not necessarily like we're definitely going and making it sure that this team wins. It is subtle enough on the calls that they're like, it won't hurt if you call it. Kind of deal.
Well,
I think so.
I think it ended up hurting the Panthers in that situation.
But I'm saying it's not like...
I mean, they still made it to the playoffs ultimately,
yeah, but I think they're not deciding, like... I mean, there's certain calls that are definitely like, we're going to put this team in a better position to win. But I don't think it's like, this is like pass interference for 50 yards down the field kind of deal. Like, it's...
Right.
They're going to put the team in the more favorable position that ends up having it happen. I don't know. But regardless, they got NFL got their wish. Got that Saints Falcons game to decide who's gonna go into the playoffs because it
Yeah,
gave
that's
them.
true. It drummed up more drama for that game. It really did.
I mean, otherwise that game is nothing. I mean, game means absolutely nothing. And
Unless you're a complete degenerate and bet on Tyler Shuck to win offensive rookie of the or yeah, offensive rookie of the
oh,
year.
I'm also to blame. I bet on him for 300 yards, and that didn't even happen. So, well, actually, I bet on 300
That's
yards
not a
and
bad bet.
325.
Dude, imagine if Shuck put up 300 yards in the Falcons if and Matt Stafford like barely broke like 225, I think it was.
Yeah, I mean,
And a loss.
He was like a 260. He was right there.
You know what? We're right on. We're already talking about Stafford. Who do you think should win MVP? I already brought up some interesting stats that I think are very and much in May's favor, but obviously I am biased. I can tell you those stats.
Personally, I think it probably should be May. It's going to be Stafford.
That is
The
the
reason
unfortunate
why-
answer that every Patriots fan is dreading to hear.
It's going to be Stafford, and I'll tell you the reason why it's going to be Stafford is that there is a section of people that vote for the award that go, you have to earn your way into this award, unless your numbers are so ungodly that we have to give it to you. Because the year that like Lamar won it, the year that Patrick Mahomes won it, their numbers were ungodly. The first times that they won it,
Yeah.
they go,
Yeah.
you have to. They were like, you have to give it to them. Most years, it doesn't matter if you're the best player in year two, and they're gonna give it to the guy that is either comparable or slightly better or has technically the pedigree of 10 plus years in the NFL. They're going to give it to the guy that has 10 plus years in the NFL. I mean, you look at all the years that Roger won it. Should he have won it every year that he won that? Probably not.
Right. Yeah.
He was
Yeah, I
he was
do
really
agree
good
with
all
that.
those years. But like they go, oh, it's Aaron Rodgers. We got to give it to Aaron Rodgers. Drake May is the new kid on the block, and people are going to go, well, we don't know how many years Stafford has left. Drake May is just starting his career. Drake May will get his chance. If he's that good. That's how people are going to view it.
Yeah. Although I do think that argument is bullshit because what if something happens? You know,
No,
what if
I completely
the
agree.
worst? What if the worst happens? I don't want to say. You know what? I don't even want to will it into existence somehow. But just say the worst happens, and this is only opportunity.
Trust me, I agree with you on that. It's just more of that is where a lot of people probably think about
Right.
it.
Yeah. That's just the way the
Right.
general
Whether
kind
it's
of public
right,
views it.
it's not right, but like that's where they're gonna view it, and they're also gonna look at dumb outside perspective from somebody that's not a fan of either guy. Really, is they're gonna look at on paper, they're gonna put a sheet in front of their paper in front of their face, and they're gonna go touchdowns. This guy has 10 more, regardless of where they
46
were.
to 31.
Yeah, but they're
Passing
going to look at
touchdowns.
touchdowns. But they're going to look at touchdown and they're going to go, this number's higher. Now they're going to look at pass yards. They're going to look at that one's higher. Then
May actually has more pass yards than Stafford.
I thought he had more rushing yards.
No, more pass yards too. I think by 100 some.
Is that, I thought it was the other way around. Or I thought Stafford had more passing yards.
Stafford, I think I'm pretty sure he only has more passing touchdowns. I think that's it.
I thought he had more passing yards because he had like that 500-yard passing game, or like 400.
Well,
60
he
yards
also
passing.
had a couple under 200, and May hasn't.
Yeah, but he's had some really high games like that though.
Let's see here. May has oh yeah, it is Stafford, I think, because May is at 43.94, and then
I thought
Stafford
Stafford at like 47 something.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, because I saw that stat earlier this week where it was like
47.07.
yeah, there
May has more total yards.
Yes, total yards. Yes, because
May has 4,800 total yards.
better,
That's what I'm thinking.
He's running more. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's running more, which is, I mean, Stafford's not running as much anymore because the guy takes one hit in the open field, he's probably broken.
Someone brought that up and it was like, oh, well, May took more sacks than Stafford, but for less yards.
That doesn't matter to me.
So that means he should have just thrown the ball away. What are you talking about? Yeah, the Patriots' offensive line got better this year. It is still dog shit.
Mm-hmm. I don't agree with that statement at all. Like even
no,
like,
not at all.
I think people that even look at sacks for their quarterback, that's just a irrelevant stat to me because I go
the big thing that stood out to me.
So many factors there.
I didn't want to get hung up on this, but here we are hung up on this because I brought it up.
That's
fine. Stafford has 8 1-yard touchdown passes and 3 2-yard touchdown passes, so that's 11 total.
Yeah.
May has 3 1-yard touchdown passes and 2 2-yard touchdown passes. You take all of those away and replace them for rushing touchdowns. Stafford is at 35 total touchdowns. May is at 30 total touchdowns. That brings the total amount a lot closer. And all of those except for one 1-yard touchdown went to either Adams or Puka.
Yeah.
None of the 1-yard touchdowns that May had were fades, where he just threw it up to a corner.
Yeah. No.
None of them.
I agree with you. It's one of those ridiculous things where you go, well, they just passed a lot on that 1-yard line and it ended up being touchdowns and stuff like that. But some guy looking from the outside gonna look at that. It's just
and it's like
it's very stupid. Very stupid.
Is.
But that's what it's going to be because of how people look at it.
Well, the Rams' rushing offense wasn't that efficient in the red zone because they didn't even try.
Well, I mean, they're passing because that's what they wanted to do in those situations, and they felt like Davante Adams is the mismatch in that situation for most teams because you have the second cornerback guarding Davante Adams and Puka Nacua on the other side. I mean,
all right, so
just how it is.
It's ridiculous. It's crazy, and that's a wide receiver skill getting those fades in the end zone. But the Patriots blew out the Dolphins 38-10. The Texans almost lost to the Colts, and they were playing their starters in the first half, except for Nico Collins. That was their only starter that they didn't have playing.
I think first, like when I watched that game, I was like, I think the Colts were still very good. I just think the problem was in that game is that a lot of times is if the quarterback's good enough, sometimes they can get you with not having any tape on them, where you don't know necessarily what he's going to do.
Nobody was expecting those long bombs to Alec Pierce from Riley Leonard.
I mean,
that was insane.
I mean, you color me shocked because I never saw him do that once at Notre Dame. Never did it at Notre Dame.
Not a single time. But I mean, did he have any? Yeah, no, me neither. But did he have any deep threats at Notre Dame? I really don't think so.
You would think though that you would have seen it more often though at Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's true. But this one really scared me because if the Texans would have lost, they would have been the ones going to Foxborough this weekend.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Texans have played a cold weather game this year. So,
Probably not, but their defense scares me a little bit more than the Chargers defense does. I'm going to be
I
honest with
know.
you.
I mean, it's just funny though when a team hasn't played a cold weather game, they get culture shocked a little bit there, where it's like
Absolutely.
where also under little no like under like something that people probably don't talk about enough is the cleats. You don't get like the cleats on some of those
Oh,
fields.
you need to get them like readjust. Like
You
the
need
players that
you
are used to playing there have like specific cleats.
yeah, specific
Okay.
cleats and heights and
Yeah, no,
everything
I
like that.
I never thought of that.
That that like if you don't have the right cleats, some of these guys are slipping and sliding across the field early on in the games. That it could be like or like try to cut somewhere and because they're not going necessarily all out in warm-ups that you don't
Right.
notice that costs you in big moments. So it's something especially on like fields like the Steelers right now. That shit's torn up. Shit is not in
Is that
great
why
shape.
Boswell is missing so many field goals in extra points?
And
I mean, that's kind of insane.
there
we'll
was
get to
there
the
was
we'll get to
so
that
much
game at last.
there's so much
So.
sliding around in that game. But like there I would find it hard to believe that like they probably have an idea, but they don't know until they are on that field and going all out.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
we'll see.
So, yeah. So, Texans beat the Colts 38-30. Giants fucked up their standings again in the draft. There's something ridiculous like 4-2 over the
Yeah.
past 6 years in week 18.
I
Like
think
just
they're
absolutely fucking their chances.
I think they're after like they're like officially eliminated from playoffs. Their record is somehow better or like close to better than what they are every other week of the last like 10 years or something like that.
That blows my
Something
mind.
stupid.
And I know that the players don't give a shit about like draft position, but like it literally matters for your team. Like it's strategically better for your
I
team
mean,
to get a higher draft
yeah.
spot if it does not matter. Like I don't understand how the players don't take that into account. Yeah, of course you don't want to lose as a player. I totally get that. But it's not better for the team overall, especially if you're staying with the team.
It's, I I've always came to this conclusion of that it's the guys too that like are gonna play in that week 18 game. A lot of times they're playing for their next contract
Yeah,
because
Joe
some of these
Milton,
guys
for
are on like a
example.
1 year deal.
Fucking Joe Milton. When did he become a running quarterback with the Cowboys in this
I
game?
don't
That was
know.
ridiculous.
That
I
was
didn't
that
even
was
plan on
weird,
bringing
right?
that up. That was very weird. Oh, it was so weird not seeing him just throw cannons down the field.
Yeah,
Next
I
up,
don't.
so the Giants won 34-17. Browns beat the Bengals 20-18, and Myles Garrett got the sack record. Finally, 23. Holy shit.
Talk about a sad, sad state of affairs. Carrying off a guy off the field after a 4 or 1 year,
5-5.
five,
They're 5-12.
five,
5-12.
oh, five
and
when five when
Stefanski just got fired.
and you had the greatest year for a defensive player with the sacks. You carry him off the field, and you ended up with 5 wins. Talk about fucking celebrating a toddler going shit in the toilet for the first time.
Oh my God.
That is the most absurd thing I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know. That's
I hate everything about that. I hate. You know what? You celebrate as much as you want after the game. You are in the middle of a fucking game. Like Drew Brees passing the record for passing yards. You stop the game, do a fucking jiggle and shake your tits for the crowd, and then you resume play. Second down. Okay. Well, like, what the fuck are we doing? It is the most ridiculous thing.
I don't know. To be fair with you, that's one of the hardest records to break is a sack record.
Trust me, I get it. I get that it's a hard record to break. I just say, regardless, I don't care if you've had the most touchdowns, passing yards, whatever. You should not stop the game to just like carry a guy off the field. I don't care.
Did the game stop? I thought play kept going.
No, the game stopped.
Oh, okay.
Because they had every single Browns player lift him up and carry him around.
I did see that, but I saw it on Red Zone, so it was all cut together, very succinctly.
It was ridiculous.
Oh my god. And everyone's like, "Oh, well, Burrow went down like for him." No, that's just how Burrow goes down for every single sack. Have you not watched a single goddamn Bengals game?
He's scared of getting hurt now, I think.
I mean, he always is.
Yeah. And disappointing year for Bengals. But
yeah. Absolutely. 100%. Good year for Chase Brown, though. He got his stock up, I think, in fantasy at least.
Finally.
Let's see here. Browns beat the Bengals 20-18. The Falcons beat the Saints 19-17 to get the Panthers into the playoffs. I don't have any notes there.
I don't have anything about that game. Vikings. That is what it is.
Yeah, Vikings beat the Packers, and I bet the only thing that I have here is I bet that the Vikings are pissed at the Packers for tying that game against the Cowboys.
Oh yeah.
They are, because they would have ended up with the same record, and I'm pretty sure that the Vikings would have ended up with the tiebreaker, and they would have been in the playoffs.
I also will say this is that the only thing Viking that I have about the Vikings at this point is either they're being super cautious with JJ in health stuff, or the kid's just very injury prone.
He just fucking sucks. I hate him. I hate Nine so much.
I think he's average if he's healthy. I don't think I think he just gets hurt too much. I think a year or two from now, they probably move on.
There were some rumors about the Patriots taking him in the draft instead of Drake May. I would have been furious.
I mean, I think there was a lot of people that were very high on him. So he had potential to be the number one guy in that draft.
I don't understand how. I really don't understand how, because I did not see it at all in Michigan. They ran the ball 90% of the time.
I think at certain points there was people that said he could have been the second pick. I think Caleb Williams was always number one. I think there was potential, though, where people had him as potentially the second best quarterback in that class.
Yeah, I remember. I absolutely remember, because that's the draft that the Patriots were in on the quarterback. So I was doing my own research, and I was like, no.
Well, I mean, you've seen Jaden, Caleb, and Drake all have had significantly better starts.
And Nix even too. Nix is not that bad, but he's the worst out of the four, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then he had Michael Penix there.
Yeah, that's that situation down in Atlanta is a whole shit show. That's crazy. I cannot believe they let Raheem Morris go after 2 years, and he's done a great job with that defense.
Well, I can't believe that they let Kirk Cousins sign and not trade him.
Yeah, after taking Penix. So, Vikings 16-3 over the Packers. Jaguars just crushed the Titans 41-7. Rams
Nothing
beat
about
the
that
Cardinals. Yeah, no. Rams beat the Cardinals 37 to
Nothing about that
20.
one.
Nothing about that one. Broncos beat the Chargers 19 to 3. Nothing about that one other than fuck the Broncos.
Or
I
just
wish
sat
that
everybody that
Trey
mattered.
Lance would have done something, but he didn't.
It's typical.
I thought this was hilarious after the Giants already won earlier in the day that secured the Raiders' #1 pick, and then the Raiders went and beat the Chiefs on a 58-yard field goal.
It tells you a lot about the Raiders year that
14 to 12.
it took a third string QB to beat them.
Yeah,
by that.
that was awful. That was so bad. Because when Chris Olodokun or whatever, no one is ever going to take another South Dakota State quarterback
No.
ever again. Your Commanders beat the Eagles after the Eagles sat everyone, surprisingly, because they were still fighting for the #2 spot.
I'm more shocked that they didn't try harder for that #2 spot. Because, in my opinion, worst comes to worst. You have a better shot at getting a home game later in the year.
Right.
And
yeah.
we were a team that was reeling and hurting, and we couldn't buy a win this year.
Josh
and you
fucking
just
Johnson was starting. I didn't realize he was 38 years old.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Still
I
had
thought he
almost
was like
50 yards
28.
rushing in that game too. He almost had 50 yards rushing in that game.
That's awesome.
He'll make another roster next year too. He's just a guy that can still play technically.
Fuck yeah.
But I don't have anything about that game.
No, I don't. But I don't know if the Eagles saw the Packers and the 49ers as kind of like the same beat up teams, because both are injured to shit.
49ers are by far the better team, though.
I skipped over that Saturday game. The Seahawks beat the 49ers 13 to 3.
Yeah.
So the 49ers ain't doing shit. I think the Eagles don't really care about them that much.
I think they probably don't care about them, but they probably should. Because that is the spot, though, where 49ers going to walk in there and surprise some people and
but if
walk out there with a win.
If they're fighting for the number one seed in this game against the Seahawks, and 3 points is all you can get.
Well, I also think that
are
Seahawks
absolutely fighting for that number 1 seed so that you can get some extra rest for injuries for your team.
Yeah.
So what? I'm not worried about them with the Eagles at all.
I think that the 49ers are going to be a tougher out, though, and what that game probably showed. I think because Eagles offense is another team that will just trip up all over themselves at this point. That it's going to be whoever can manage to make less mistakes on offense and consistently move the ball down the field. That's going to be your winner of the game.
I just think that they're going to be able to move the ball down the field pretty effectively with Saquon. I feel like this is just going to be. I feel like Saquon's going to have a 100-yard game. I feel it in my bones.
Coming from a fantasy manager this year, I had that feeling in my bones a lot of times this year. And you know how much that happened.
Same with me and Brian Thomas Jr. I was like, this is the week. This is the week. Brian Thomas Jr. probably had the same amount of breakout games that Saquon did this year, which is saying something.
Yeah, that's
That's bad.
fucking crazy.
All right, so the Eagles lost 24-17 to the Commanders, and then the Lions beat the Bears 19-16. They did not let Ben Johnson beat them this year, not at all.
I'm not shocked about that.
No,
Dan Campbell wasn't gonna let him win against him.
that's so funny.
Just a fact.
And then who? There's someone that's interviewing for the job. Shit. Where did I have it?
But if you want some insider information, I heard that
Oh, this was it.
Harbaugh and Kubiak, or not Kubiak, Munkin are going to be probably heading to Miami.
Oh, okay. Well, everyone was like, "Who's the eighth team that Schefter mentioned in his post?" And everyone was like, "Well, it's not the Ravens." So
Yeah.
there needed to be one more coaching opportunity, and it was Miami. But Schefter said that it wasn't Miami that reached out. So I don't know who that eighth team was that he was talking about. But Mike
It's a
McDaniel,
team that probably has a head coach right now that I'm not feeling super confident about. And I would not be surprised if it was Washington.
I have a feeling it might be the Packers.
It could be the Packers as well, too.
That's my thought. That's immediately my thought. But the person that was we talked about the Lions, Mike McDaniel is now being targeted by the Lions for their offensive coordinator position.
Hmm.
I think I like that. I think I like that a lot.
Well, what I'm going to say Washington also. If they're keeping Quinn, they Cliff Kingsbury's gone. Dan Quinn was like a mentor to McDaniel through sobriety. So
Oh, okay.
he
All right.
was he he loves Dan Quinn more than like it's like he has the
I listen to
utmost
that
respect
as
for
I
Dan
chug my
Quinn.
beer a little bit.
Yeah, it's like a weird relationship between them. Like there that one is one to watch in that situation as well because there is a very significant connection between those two guys.
That'd be cool. Um, But other than that, the only thing that happened was the Bills beat the Jets with all their backups 35-8.
Mhm.
And then this game, you are at probably the best game of the week,
Oh
Ravens
yeah.
at Steelers, where the the Steelers beat the Ravens 26-24 on a missed loop field goal after Boswell just missed the extra point to make it 26-24.
Yeah.
I watched the highlights. I did not stay up for that game. I My mind was blown how they won. I was like, no fucking way.
I'll tell you this. You watched that first half that game and
Yeah.
you
Oh,
walk
it was
away
horrible.
going Ravens
Horrible.
are going to win this game by a, at least 10 points because Steelers had the blown red zone opportunity at the end of the first half. They couldn't really move the ball. Their offense was or running back screens or running back throughout like
Gainwell
backfield.
was the only one that could do anything, it seemed like.
Yeah. You're watching that game. You're like, Steelers are gonna lose this, and then the start of the second half happens. March right down the field, score that touchdown, tie it up, and then all fucking hell breaks loose in that game
It was like the
where
last
Ravens
3 minutes where like 2 touchdowns in that field goal were
yeah.
scored. And I was like, what the hell?
Ravens couldn't move the ball outside of let's have this deep ass pass, and it worked. they had
Just
they had
wide
three
open.
plays. They had three plays in that game, which were at 40 yards plus a touchdown. and you watch it and you go, but they can't move the ball anywhere else. But those deep passes were the ones that worked. And
On that
I'm sitting
on
there
that
watching, I'm like, what's
second
going on?
on the second Zay Flowers touchdown where he was wide open, there was no one within 10 yards of him.
Yeah,
Chris Collinsworth, I don't know if you listened to the broadcast, was like,
I didn't listen
they
to
did
any
it
of it.
again. They did it again. Like mid play, he was like, they did it again. He was
Yes.
wide open.
I
It's
mean,
the most animated I've ever heard him.
but even at the end of that game, they go and score that touchdown, and well, they score that touchdown, and then you get Steelers get the ball, and it's essentially a 2 minute drill, and you go, oh fuck, they have no timeouts because
Right.
they burned all
Yeah.
their timeouts right before that, but they fucking Aaron Rodgers marches them right down that field, runs a minute and five drill,
Yeah.
and
They
scores
scored
that
pretty
touchdown.
fast. Yeah.
I'm looking at it and go, 55 seconds left. Take that ball, kickoff happens. Into midfield. Game's over. Game's over. Fourth down happens. Well, maybe the Steelers can win it right now. No, it's very likely for 25 yards. Field goal position right there.
Yeah, they were
Yep.
in field goal range after that.
And they go, this game's over. He's not missing this. And I look to Shane on my left, and I go, I don't know. That's feels a little slippery. and and he fucking not just misses, shanks to the right.
Almost like
Like
the
it was,
exact same way that Boswell missed that extra point. Shanked to the
yeah.
right.
It wasn't even close. Realistically, it's just one of those things where you go, somebody was looking out for the Steelers in that game where so much went right on their offensive end that hasn't happened all year. And then they get saved by the just worst kick that you can imagine, especially in now today's NFL where kicking has seemed almost automatic.
Right. Yeah. From 60 yards, good. But Aubrey was also really bad in that Giants game. He missed like 3 field goals, I think.
Yeah, but but like you go 50 yards and under, you are expected to make that. Like 9 out of 10 times in the NFL, that is like a make. It should be a make.
1000%. I saw the meme of where it showed the uprights, and then in the middle of the uprights it said Tomlin fired, but then to the left or the right it said Harbaugh fired.
Yeah,
And Harbaugh was indeed fired on Tuesday. So,
yeah,
holy shit.
and Mike Tomlin's probably saved for another year.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. They will not fire him. I mean, listen. So let's just get into these playoff predictions then. I don't think we need to go over anything else. The coaches that were fired were Raheem Morris, Kevin Stefanski, Pete Carroll, and Jonathan Gannon, and then John Harbaugh and Mike McDaniel. And then the Titans had an open spot, and then someone else, I think.
It was
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's one more. I can't remember who it is. No, there are 8 openings right now. Because a quarter of the team is looking for a head coach. Did I say Giants? No, I did not say Giants. So the Giants, there you go. So I don't really have any predictions as of right now. I think Cliff Kingsbury is probably going to go to the Ravens. That's my prediction. That's the only one that I have. Outside of that,
I see him in Tennessee.
Tennessee, that would be a good landing spot for him too. I like that.
I see Tennessee.
I do like that.
That would be my guess. Is that
Where do you think Stefanski ends up? If Stefanski ends up with the Ravens, do you think the Browns are going to be fucking kicking themselves?
I think Stefanski ends up with either Ravens or Giants.
I
I
think
think those are the
both of
two.
those destinations I think would be good for him, especially since he's already been able to prove that he can be good
Yeah.
through the shit in Cleveland. I think he'd be good for the Giants.
I think that's where realistically it should be. I think those are two viable options there.
Absolutely.
The Ravens might try to go for a coordinator and hire a coordinator.
Yeah, I saw they interviewed Vance Joseph today. I don't know who else they have on their interview docket, but
It's probably either a coordinator or a guy that's already been established as a head coach.
I thought it
It's
was hilarious that Harbaugh's well, Schefter said that Harbaugh is number one on the Giants' radar, but also on the Giants' radar is fucking. Why did I just blank out on his name? From the Cowboys, Joe, the redhead, Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett, not Joe.
oh,
Jason Garrett is on the Giants' radar.
interesting.
Apparently, yes, that is very
Jason Garrett
interesting
also
because
hasn't
that
coached
would
in
be
like 6 years.
yeah, that would be hilarious. Because what the fuck are the Giants doing in that
He's
case?
just been doing pregame NFL stuff.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
calls
one
a
hundred
couple
percent.
games here and there.
I think he's good at that. I have no problem with
I'd
him
be
in that role.
shocked. I'd be shocked if he gets hired.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. I think
It's
Belichick
like
would get
what's his
hired
name?
before him.
Rex Ryan being like, hire me as a Jets coach. Okay, Rex. What has Rex
Jesus
Ryan
Christ.
done outside of get up on ESPN for the last 10 years?
Absolutely nothing besides get veneers.
Yeah, he's a little prettier.
So he can bite on them toes a little bit harder. All right, let's get into these playoff predictions. First game up on Saturday, Rams at the Panthers. Is this going to go differently than the first time they played each other?
Yes.
I don't know. I think the Rams are honestly just too much to
Staff,
handle for the Panthers.
Stafford won't throw so many picks.
Yeah, this is true.
Stafford
What he
won't.
threw 2 picks and a pick six in that game, right?
Yeah, he won't throw those picks in like he did. That was an anomaly. That was the
We'll
only
see.
reason why
Mike Jackson
Panthers
and
didn't
J.C. Horn. Woo.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
but I do think that the Rams win.
I think it's Rams by 7.
It was 10.5 on Wednesday on Wednesday.
I can imagine that line coming down.
I think it's just, honestly I find it getting bigger.
Think so?
Maybe a lot of people like in the playoffs are like, oh, they're at home. The Panthers beat
I
them the
think you're
first
going to see a
time.
lot
Maybe
of
they will
people
cover
just.
that spread. Like,
I think you're going to see a
so
lot of
yeah, I
people
guess I could
just
see that.
hammer that cover, that line come down.
So yeah, we're both on the Rams. When the Panthers had a must-win game against the Bucks, they couldn't do it. So
Yeah.
next game up on Saturday night, Packers at the Bears. With how beat up the Packers are, I would honestly, it would take a miracle for them to beat the Bears. I think Ben Johnson's going to pull some crazy shit out of his ass, and if they're down, they're going to come back and win. I believe in Ben
So
Johnson.
it's really funny looking at both of their games this year. Is that Packers have had the lead in those games probably, I want to say 95% of the way through with those games combined, and they are 1-1. I think
Damn.
if you have Chicago play any sort of offense in the first half of those games, they win those games by 10 plus points. I just think
Yep.
the if you don't get them to play fast off the beginning, They're going to play from behind, and that's where they've done well this year on it. I just don't think that's a spot you want to be in Green Bay.
No, no, not at all.
Or
Well,
no,
they're
in Chicago.
in Chicago, yeah, in Chicago, yeah. But
Even
I mean,
still, you just don't want to be playing from behind in.
Have they been that great at home? I don't even know.
Regardless, you're playing a playoff game in Lambeau, or
I have no,
not Lambeau.
no, in
No,
Chicago.
I keep thinking that's bad memory from me because Bears never.
Yeah, they never have a
had
playoff game. Period.
But regardless, they never have a home playoff game.
I don't know. I just don't think that the Packers defense is going to be able to contain the Bears rushing offense, which is very good. Yeah, without Micah, and then also Loveland has been going off. They're getting Odunze back. And then I don't know if DJ Moore practiced today I don't think he practiced today actually. But even if he doesn't, Odunze being back is huge for Caleb Williams.
Yeah, but he'll play.
So who do you have?
It's Bears. It's Bears.
Bears. Yep, we're both going Bears. All right, Sunday afternoon game. Bills at the Jaguars. This is the best game of the weekend to me.
Oh, I'd agree. The weird part about that game is you got to erase your memory of Jaguars' bad years with Trevor Lawrence, and now remember that he's playing almost at an MVP caliber right now.
He is one of the hottest quarterbacks in the playoffs right now. It's just straight up.
I think I kind of love the Jaguars in this game because of the way he's playing at the moment and the fact that you're going to see probably the Bills defense that's not very good kind of give up at least 4 touchdowns in the game.
I find it. I really believe that it's going to be hard for them to stop the Jaguars' offense. I mean, the Bills have the number 1 pass defense in the league, but the Jaguars' rushing offense, I think, is very underrated.
Yeah,
ETN is really good.
And people go, the main story about this game is you're looking at Josh Allen saying, "If not now, when?" And I just don't think this Bills team has enough around him.
No, not at all. Definitely not on offense. The receiving core is probably the worst in the league, I would imagine.
I mean, I couldn't even tell you the number 1 wide receiver on that team.
It might be Khalil Shakir. I think it is.
Is it? Because I don't know if it is or not.
Pretty sure. I think a lot of people are relying on it. Brandon Cook's resurgence right now.
Because if you would have told me that it was Mac Hollins, I probably would have believed you too.
Yeah, because he's on the Patriots.
That's what I'm saying. You could tell me that it's Mac Hollins, and I would probably believe you because there are a bunch of no-name guys.
There are 0 guys out there.
Because as much as I know Mac Hollins' name, he is not like a star by any means.
No,
if you told me that he was on the Bills right now, okay.
He's actually on the IR, so he's out for the season.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
That
is
sucks.
If you would have told me that he's on the Bills and he's their number 1 wide receiver, I'd say, okay, that makes a lot of sense because I don't know anybody on the Bills wide receiver core.
I just think the main thing here is that the Jaguars defense is so turnover heavy, and the Bills are so prone to turning over the ball. Allen throws so many interceptions. This is not going to be a pretty game. I think the Jaguars are going to win.
He also has times where he can fumble it a decent amount.
Yes, he does.
He gets lucky a lot and gets on them. But he does have moments where he can fumble a decent amount. that if Jaguars trend is continuing, I
There
would
was like a
say
stretch of 5 games where he threw 2 interceptions
yeah.
in 3 out of those 5 games. Josh
But
Allen
he's
did,
and
and I was so pissed because I had him on my fantasy team. That's why I
but
know
then
that.
there's also times though when he just goes Superman mode and he puts a team on his back and he'll go score you 4 touchdowns.
Like against the
And
Bucks, 3 rushing
yeah,
touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns.
I just I just think they're going to be a little bit outmatched in this game,
Yeah,
and I think
you saw what
Jaguars
they did to the
are hot.
Broncos. The Jaguars did to the Broncos week
Yeah,
16. That that
Jaguars are
shows me
hot.
all that I need to know.
I truthfully think that Jaguars could be a Super Bowl, like in the Super Bowl this year,
I think they're in a lot of people's picks. I really do. I think
which
a
is
Jaguars Rams
crazy.
Super Bowl is likely, even though the Rams beat the Jaguars 35-7 earlier in the season. Like it would be a completely different game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a team. It's like any sport though. Your team gets hot at the right moment. Like I always think about the Giants from the year that they beat the Patriots. Sorry, uh, but
You motherfucker. You just had to. You had to. You had that in your mind this whole time. This whole hour and a half. You've been like, I'm going to mention the Giants beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. You motherfucker.
but you think about it, like Giants got hot at the right time, and they beat the fucking giant that they were.
Yep. Yeah. No, I
And
agree with that. I
and
could
it's
see a Jags Eagles Super Bowl this year. That's what I could see, for sure.
that I if the Eagles make it to the Super Bowl, I am gonna hang a noose.
Why not? Why not?
I hate
Okay, so if they
I don't think that they I just don't like watching them.
so
I
if
think
they
they're just
beat
a
the
boring team.
49ers and the Bears win, they go to the Bears. I think they can beat the Bears in game 2. I know they lost to them on Black Friday,
Yeah.
but I don't know. The Eagles have been very inconsistent, and can they be consistent for 3 or 4 games? That is the big question for their playoff
Against
run.
good opponents too.
Yeah, I don't know if they can. But we already went over it
The
kind
run
of.
game will be the deciding factor.
Yeah. We already went over it kind of a little bit, was the 49ers Eagles game. I think the Eagles will steamroll the 49ers. What do you think?
I'm taking 49ers.
This is the first one that we differ on.
I I don't think I think the Eagles are in a trend this year of their last 3 years or 4 years or whatever it is. It's like Super Bowl, first round exit, Super Bowl, first round exit. I think this is their
I
trend, and then they fire
well,
offensive coordinator, and you see him in the Super Bowl next year.
yeah, Kevin Petula's house is going to get egged again, that's for sure. But I don't think they're as bad this year as they were 2 years ago when they lost to the Bucks in the wild card round.
No,
Because I
well, they
remember
didn't go on.
I was in
They
the
didn't go on that
hospital when they
sprint.
played that game against the Buccaneers when they got booted
They
from the
also,
playoffs.
I think they had like five, 5 or 6 straight losses to end the year on that year. But
Yeah, yeah, that was really bad.
this team is much better than that, but I still don't think that they're that good. I think the 49ers end up taking that game against all odds.
Before I realized that the 49ers were like as injured as they were, I did write down here like, man, the Eagles must be really kicking themselves for not playing their starters to beat the Commanders. I said, what a shit matchup, and it might get them booted for the playoffs round 1 for the second time in 3 years with a Super Bowl sandwiched in between. Now, has that ever happened before? first round boot, Super Bowl first round boot out of the playoffs.
I don't think it's ever
That's the only
happened.
question that brought up to me.
Yeah. No, I truly think that I don't think there's in another team that's had that. But like they're they're in a spot right now where they're just not good enough. They're gonna like they might win this game, but I don't think they're gonna win three in a row against all quality opponents. I just don't think that's gonna happen.
I think they could beat the Bears. Like, there's a certain possibility of that. But then
Yeah.
after that, who would they play? Would they be playing the Seahawks? Would they be playing the Rams? A rematch
They
against the
got lucky to
Rams
beat
might
the
not go
Rams
so
early.
well for them. Yeah, exactly.
They got real lucky
um,
to beat the Rams earlier this year.
but I am sticking with the Eagles. I think the Eagles will win this game. And you're going 49ers?
I'm going 49ers.
Gotcha. All right, Sunday night game. Chargers at Patriots. Let's go. Obviously,
Patriots
I think the
by
Patriots are going to win.
2 scores. Patriots by 2 scores.
Yeah, let's go.
Chargers are not good in my opinion. I think that Chargers team is with a Herbert having like to readjust his game with the hurt hand. I
It's supposed to
they're
be
a very
cold too,
predictable
so
offense.
injuries and cold do not do well.
Yeah, they're a very predictable offense. If Patriots can stop any sort of run that they have,
Which they
it's going to be a
can for sure.
long yeah, it's going to be a long night for the Chargers. And I think it's going to be what you've seen a lot of over Chargers last couple of playoff experiences is they get there, they've won a couple good games, they've outplayed their regular like what people's regular season expectations with the injuries and stuff like that. They just will fall flat in this game. Patriots by at least two
100%.
scores.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Let's go. And the Chargers subreddit is so fucking cocky. It's blowing my mind.
Why?
Like, they're all like,
Why?
oh, I'm so glad we pulled the Patriots. Like, do you not realize, like, you
I think
obviously have not watched any Patriots games this year.
I think every team in the AFC was hoping to play the Chargers in the first round.
Yeah, I definitely was looking forward to it. The
I
Patriots
think
have had the most
everybody
consistent
wanted.
offense this year out of, I
Yeah,
think, any team in the playoff field.
yeah. I truly think everybody was like, oh, if we can get the Chargers in the first round, that would be awesome. Like I don't think anybody was like, we got to play the Chargers. I just
No.
that tells a lot. That says a
Yeah,
lot about
beat up
what people
offensive
think.
line. Herbert's hand is hurt. Hampton just came off IR, and he's a rookie. So, like, is he going to hold up through the playoffs? I don't know about that, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm not getting my hopes up too much. I'm not going to say they're going to win by 2 scores. Maybe by, like, within 7 to 10, I think they're going to win. So, still by a lot,
I
but
think 2 scores is like I mean you saw how many points like there's not many changes that have happened on that defense from last year and what the Texans did offensively last year to them on in that playoff game that has to
yeah,
just stick in your mind and that
1,000%. And the Patriots are getting back. Well, Milton Williams is going to go all out for this game. He got a chance to warm up last week. Robert Spillane is going to be back for this game, their best run-stopping linebacker. And then Will Campbell is obviously back, their best, one of the best draft picks that they had this year, their left tackle.
yeah
So I don't know what the Chargers fans are thinking is going to happen. Gonzo is going to completely lock down Quentin Johnston or Lad McConkey, whoever they decide to put him on. It's
Chargers
It's not
can't
going to look
pass
pretty.
block
They
either.
got to come over from the West Coast. It's a night game. It's going to be freezing. I don't understand why they're so excited to face the Patriots.
It's gonna be a slaughter.
They're going to
It's not
see.
it's gonna be a slaughter. And it's gonna
Uh,
be like really, really um disappointing for all Chargers fans because this is what they're gonna have going forward. They just can't, they won't ever be able to get out of the first round.
This is
It's
going to be
just
their lasting legacy.
it's I mean, you look at every year under Herbert, people talk about Herbert constantly, constantly, constantly. And you know what? What has he done in the postseason? Nothing. Where it really matters, he's done absolutely nothing. And you can't
Yeah.
tell me that he is deserving of all this praise if you've done nothing in the playoffs. I'd
Was
say
it
the
last
only
year against the
way
Texans, 2 years ago against the Jaguars? Was
that
it,
that and
was it
that's
3 years
that's it.
ago? Did they even
That's
make the playoffs? I don't even know.
no, they that's all they had. And you can't tell me that like maybe history changes itself if they don't blow that game against the Jaguars and they win there. And maybe I go, okay, they've changed their luck around. They're the same old Chargers. It's the exact same thing. Year in, year out with them.
They're just like the Jets of the playoffs.
It's I mean they're gonna be out of there. You're gonna blink and that game's gonna be 14-0.
I for sure, for my own mental sake, I hope so, because when after Kayshawn Booty came out with that article talking about his betting addiction, I put $200 on the Patriots money line.
As you should. As you should.
As you should. As you should. All right. So we both got the Patriots in that one. Last playoff game, Texans at the Steelers. And the Steelers have won their past 23 Monday Night Football games. Will that streak
Fake
continue?
stat. Fake stat.
Did you say fake stat?
Yeah, it's a fake stat. You know why? Because they technically lost what would have been a Monday night game if it wasn't for
Oh, to the
COVID against
Cowboys.
Washington.
Wait.
Against
Oh, what?
Washington. They were undefeated going into that game. That was one of Ben Roethlisberger's year, 2020. I think it was his last year. And Washington was supposed to play the Steelers on Monday night. Game got moved to Tuesday because of COVID. And
Oh,
they
shit.
demolished the Steelers in that game.
John
So
with
that's
the
why I call it a fake
insight.
stat.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
That's why I
That
call
was
that a
COVID
fake
year. That
stat.
doesn't count. That was COVID year. Wait, that's so
I also
funny.
think they played a lot of like under 500 teams on Monday nights.
That makes sense. I feel like there's a lot of Ravens games, though, on Monday nights. Ravens and Bengals games. I don't know about Browns games, but Ravens and Bengals for sure a lot on Monday night.
Yeah, I think Steelers just play really bad teams Monday nights. Was it
Yeah,
backwards
that's true.
pass?
I don't really know what to think about this game. I do think that they can win with DK back, but
I'm gonna
without
take the
Darnell
Steelers.
Washington, the offense is so much less dynamic. But the Texans have fucking sucked in the wild card round forever.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
Well,
just have a feeling that Rodgers is going to be able to pick apart this defense.
if the Steelers have won 4 out of the last 5 going into the playoffs. Um, their offense seems to have found a little bit of rhythm later on in the year that they didn't necessarily have the whole year. I think Rodgers is actually calling more plays um, on the
Oh,
field.
okay.
Uh, I think so. I would be surprised if he's not.
That would make
Um,
sense.
uh, and I think they're starting to finally have a rhythm where I I think regardless of Texans defense being really good, is that Texans have also not blown teams out this year. Like
Not at all.
they let some bad teams score on them. Um, Riley Leonard.
The Riley Leonard Colts. Yeah.
You think Riley Leonard is? You think Riley Leonard is comparable to Aaron Rodgers? Like, I don't care if Aaron Rodgers is 42 years old. He has more football knowledge than probably a lot of his offensive coaching staff.
Yeah, that I agree with 100%.
I think that he's going to. It's going to be close. But Steelers at home,
I also have the Steelers,
which is a big portion.
So we kind of agree on everything besides the 49ers-Eagles game. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think
All
the
right.
first round is. I think the first round typically is pretty chalky. In NFL playoffs, I think it's the second round and on that kind of gets a little bit.
Divisional round is where I usually make my money on the parlays. I've been pretty good in the divisional round.
We'll see. I mean, it's going to be a good weekend, and we'll see what happens. But I think we're not due for many surprises. I think it's going to be very chalky.
Yeah. I hope that the Panthers win just because that would be hilarious. But other than that, yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them.
I wouldn't put it past them either.
There is a definite talent advantage to the Rams.
That's for sure.
That I think the Panthers just don't quite have yet.
But yeah, I think that's it. Anything else, John?
Awesome.
I don't have anything else on the
I don't
itinerary.
have anything else. Nothing else on my itinerary.
Well, John, that is
right.
the end of a run of a legacy. You were here for episode 10 of Hoagies and Pierogis. You were here for episode 184 of Hoagies and Pierogis. Thank you very much.
Yeah. No problem, man.
All
good
right,
time.
John. Absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to leave everything up. I'm not going to delete anything. I might actually hop on here, like I said, if the Patriots keep going in the playoffs. I will definitely maybe upload something after the draft because I definitely want to go to the draft in Pittsburgh. So we will see.
It's going to be a madhouse.
Oh, yeah. More than game day? Probably more than game day.
I looked at last year's for Green Bay, and it was like over the weekend, it was 600,000.
All right, John.
Going on.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Thank you very much. We'll see you later.
All right.
A little munch. Alrighty, everybody. Maybe not for the final time, but for one of the last times, for a full-length episode like this, make sure to leave a like and comment on each video. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to. I will keep everything up. I will not be deleting anything. Everything will stay up on YouTube. Everything will stay up on Spotify. Everything will stay up on iTunes, Instagram, wherever the podcast is. So, hell, if you want to follow us on Instagram, go ahead, because I will have updates there on when an episode will drop. If I do make an episode, I am sure I will make a little update as long as the Patriots keep winning throughout the playoffs. And once they lose, I'll probably send out an update as well. And I'm going to the NFL draft, so I will probably post something around that time. So keep on the lookout for that. In that case, subscribe. And then follow us on Instagram, like I said. No clips throughout the week anymore. I will post one from this one. But thank you very much. we will leave you with one final munch. Recorded in central Pennsylvania in front of a live studio audience with your host Ian DiCarlo. This is Hoagies and Pierogis.